Welcome to the Shango Diaries, where passion meets vulnerability and love unfolds one story at a time. Modern, raw, and unapologetically real. Get ready to dive into the unexpected. This is the Shango Diaries, written by M. Madison.
All right, so we're back. And this time we're diving into week 6 of the Shango Diaries.
Okay.
Monica's still right smack in the middle of December 2007.
Yeah.
Holidays are in full swing. And we're getting a peek into, like, more than just what's going on with Shango this week, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, this is where we start to see, like, all those different parts of Monica's life kind of come together.
Exactly.
Like, it's not all about the romance now. It's about her as, like, a whole person.
Right. Last week, we were all about her work with Iron Ring, remember?
Yeah.
Now she's dealing with the finale on top of that.
Right.
Contracts with fighters, keeping her team updated, and she's even getting emails from, like, this old music producer she knew way back when.
Wow.
It's a lot.
That is a lot.
Talk about multitasking.
Seriously, it really shows how competent she is, though, don't you think?
Yeah.
To be able to switch from, like, intense contract negotiations to planning for the holidays,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
Yeah, no kidding. And then on top of all of that, there's the whole family side of things.
Right.
Those emails between Monica and her day one, Mia.
Oh, yeah.
You can just tell how close they are.
Yeah, and it's not just Mia supporting the whole Shango thing either.
Right.
It's deeper than that. Even if they're not, like, talking every day, you can see that their bond is, like, rock solid.
And that whole blood sisters thing they did as kids.
Oh, my God.
Pricking their fingers when they were 5 to make it official.
Wow.
I mean, that's serious commitment, right?
That's intense. It really shows you, like, the foundation of their relationship.
Yeah.
This is a lifelong thing built on trust and understanding.
Yeah.
Mia's opinion clearly means a lot to Monica, even if they don't always agree, you know?
Right.
Like, remember, Mia was kind of hesitant about Shango at first?
That's true, but it seems like she's coming around.
Yeah.
Maybe seeing how happy Monica is making a difference.
Maybe.
Makes you think, though.
Yeah.
If Mia hadn't given her blessing, would Monica be going full speed ahead with Shango?
It's a good question, you know?
Yeah.
The influence of a close friend or a sibling, especially someone who's known you your whole life,
Yeah.
it can be really powerful.
It really can.
Like, it makes you think about the people in your own life and how they affect the decisions you make.
Totally. Okay, but changing gears a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about Monica and Jordan's dad, Tony. That whole conversation about Jordan's birthday.
Yeah.
It just feels strained.
Yeah, definitely. Monica's frustration is so clear. And Tony just seems almost dismissive. It really shows the challenges of co-parenting, especially when there's, like, a history of hurt feelings, you know?
Yeah, and it's such a contrast to the warmth Monica has with her sons.
Right.
Like, Jordan's literally camping out in the backyard. It's like their own little adventure.
That's so sweet.
It really highlights how dedicated she is to giving her boys a loving and supportive environment, even with everything else going on.
Exactly. She might be dealing with a complicated ex.
Right.
But her being a mom is clearly a top priority.
Absolutely. Okay, but let's not forget about Shango. This week, their messages have a playful, almost flirty vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're really settling into a groove.
Yeah, there's definitely a change.
Right.
It's not just the playful stuff, though.
Yeah.
Did you catch the part where Shango expects a Christmas card from Monica?
Oh, yeah.
It's subtle, but it's like this growing expectation of intimacy and tradition. He's assuming she's going to be part of his holiday.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal.
It is. It's a sign that their relationship is, like, moving past the initial sparks and into something more meaningful.
Definitely.
And I love how when Shango tells her to visit, he's all dress warm.
Yeah.
Like he's being bossy, but also caring, you know? Like he wants her to be comfortable.
It's a total Shango move.
Right.
He might have this tough exterior, but you can see the tenderness underneath. Yeah.
And Monica seems to like playing along with his whole alpha male thing.
Oh, for sure. But things start to get really interesting when we see their social circles colliding.
Oh, yeah.
Emails with Karen.
Shango's best friend.
Right, Shango's best friend. And Josie.
Monica's former assistant.
Exactly. It feels like a whole new chapter.
It does. It's like they're integrating each other into their lives, taking the relationship beyond just the two of them.
Yeah.
And that can bring a whole new set of dynamics and complexities.
Speaking of complexities, can we go back to Mia for a second?
Sure.
Their bond is just so strong, even when they're not in constant contact.
Yeah.
It's so clear that Monica really values her opinion, especially when it comes to relationships.
Totally. And remember, Mia was skeptical of Shango at first.
Right.
So her finally accepting him must be huge for Monica.
Yeah.
Almost like a seal of approval.
It's like she's saying, okay, I trust your judgment. I see that he makes you happy.
Yeah.
That kind of support, especially after past relationship heartbreaks, must be invaluable. Absolutely. It shows how deep their connection is.
Right.
It's not just about sharing secrets and fun times.
Yeah.
It's about having someone who really knows you, who understands your vulnerabilities and your dreams, and who wants the best for you.
Exactly. And, it makes me wonder.
Yeah.
What if Mia's approval is what finally gives Monica the confidence to fully embrace her feelings for Shango? Like maybe she needed that reassurance from someone she trusts completely.
Yeah.
Before diving headfirst into this relationship.
That's a really interesting thought.
Right.
It raises all these questions about how the people we love shape our romantic choices.
Yeah.
Especially after we've been hurt. It's this balance between trusting our gut and looking for guidance from the people who know us best.
I know, and it makes me even more curious about how Monica and Shango's relationship will play out in the coming weeks.
Me too.
Will Mia become a part of their lives together?
Yeah.
Will her influence continue to be a factor?
Good question.
So much to unpack.
I agree, but before we get ahead of ourselves,
Yeah.
let's take a closer look at some of the other key moments from this week's entries.
Okay.
There's still so much to explore. One thing that really stuck out to me this week was that whole back and forth between Monica and Tony about Jordan's birthday.
Yeah.
It's just sad to see how dismissive Tony is.
I know, it's rough. Right.
Almost like he doesn't even care.
And it makes you think about, what happened between them.
Yeah.
What led to this total disconnect.
Right.
You can really feel Monica's frustration.
Definitely.
Like she's carrying all the weight of their shared responsibility on her own.
Exactly. And it makes her dedication to her sons even more impressive. She's juggling so much, her career, her relationship with Shango, the holidays, but she never loses sight of what really matters, her boys.
It's inspiring.
Yeah.
She's not letting the negativity from her past relationship affect the love and joy she has with her sons.
Right.
Like that camping scene in the backyard.
Oh, yeah.
It's so sweet.
It's like their own little world,
Yeah, full of adventure and connection.
Exactly. It really shows her commitment to creating a stable, loving environment for them, in spite of the challenges she's facing with their dad.
And it makes you think about the impact of her choices.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Not just on her own life, but on theirs as well.
Absolutely. Like, how will her relationship with Shango affect her sons?
Yeah.
Will he be a positive male role model for them?
It's definitely something Monica has to be thinking about.
Right, as she moves forward.
For sure. And speaking of Shango,
Okay.
we see their relationship keep developing in some interesting ways this week.
Yeah.
Like those playful messages,
Mm-hmm.
the expectation of a Christmas card.
It's like they're weaving their lives together little by little.
Right. And it's not just about the romance either.
No.
We're seeing their worlds collide.
Yeah.
Their social circles overlapping.
Like with those emails with Karen and Josie.
Exactly.
Shango's best friend and Monica's former assistant.
Right. It's a clear sign that things are getting more serious.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just two people dating anymore.
No.
They're becoming part of each other's extended networks.
And that can bring a whole new level of, complexity.
Eliminating a conflict.
Oh, yeah. And potential conflict?
Definitely.
Like, can you imagine the family dinners?
Oh, Kyle.
The holidays?
Yeah.
The inevitable clashes of personality and opinion?
It's exciting and kind of scary all at the same time.
Totally.
It makes you wonder, how will Monica handle all these new dynamics?
Yeah.
Will she be able to hold on to her sense of self?
Especially with all these competing demands and expectations.
Right.
And especially considering her strong bond with Mia.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Remember how we were talking about Mia's influence earlier?
Uh-huh. Her approval seems to be a big deal for Monica.
Yeah.
Almost like a guiding force in her decisions.
Right. And it makes you think,
Yeah.
will Mia become part of Monica and Shango's world?
Hmm.
Or will she stay separate but still be that important source of support and guidance? It's a good question.
It really highlights how complicated relationships are.
Yeah.
And how our personal connections shape our romantic choices and our whole sense of who we are.
It's a reminder that we're not just making choices in a vacuum.
Yeah.
We're part of this bigger picture, constantly interacting with and being influenced by the people around us.
So true. And it makes you think.
Yeah.
As Monica's relationship with Shango progresses, will these different connections strengthen or will they cause friction and tension?
It's a question we'll have to keep in mind as we look at future entries.
Okay.
But one thing's for sure.
Yeah.
Monica's journey is far from over. There are going to be more twists and turns ahead, more challenges to overcome, more opportunities for growth and self-discovery.
And I, for one, can't wait to see how it all plays out.
Me neither. But before we move on to the last part of our deep dive, let's just take a minute to appreciate how complex Monica's character is.
Yeah.
We've seen her strength and resilience when things get tough. Her incredible dedication to her sons, her ambition and drive in her career, and her vulnerability and desire for love in her personal life.
It's a powerful reminder that we're all these multifaceted people.
Yes.
Capable of holding these seemingly contradictory emotions and navigating tough situations with grace and determination.
Exactly, and that's what makes the Shango Diaries so interesting. It's not just a love story.
Right.
It's a portrait of a woman figuring out her place in the world, learning to balance all her different roles and responsibilities, and ultimately deciding what happiness means to her.
Yeah, she really is someone a lot of people can probably relate to, but okay, let's not forget the reason we all got hooked on this whole thing in the first place.
Right.
It's Shango.
Oh, believe me, I have not forgotten about Shango this week. Gave us some pretty big clues about where things might be going.
For real, like when he expects that Christmas card from her, it's not just some random holiday tradition.
No, it's not. It means their dynamic is changing.
Yeah.
You know, he's making her part of his personal traditions. It shows a level of seriousness we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
It makes you think, is he starting to imagine a future with Monica in it?
That's a good point. And then there's the whole dress warm thing when he tells her to visit.
Yeah.
It's bossy, for sure, but also kind of sweet.
Right.
Like he cares about her.
It definitely shows a softer side of Shango, a side we don't get to see very often.
Yeah.
Underneath that rough exterior, he genuinely cares about Monica. And let's not forget about the power dynamics here, you know?
All right.
He's the one calling the shots in their interactions, and Monica, at least for now, seems fine with going along with it.
Which brings us back to something we talked about before, the whole merging of their social circles.
Oh, yeah.
Those emails with Karen and Josie.
Right.
It's not just them being friendly.
No, it shows they're becoming more committed, you know, willing to really mix their lives together.
And with that comes, you know, both good and bad stuff.
Exactly. Like imagine the holiday get-togethers, the family introductions. Oh, yeah.
The inevitable personality clashes.
Can you picture Mia and Shango in the same room?
Oh my God.
That could be interesting.
That would be something else. And it brings up some interesting questions.
Yeah.
Will Mia's doubts about Shango come back?
Will
their strong bond affect Monica's choices as her relationship with Shango keeps going?
Good question.
I'll have to see how all that plays out in the future entries.
The suspense is killing me. But you know what else I find interesting?
What's that?
How Monica manages to stay so grounded with all this craziness going on.
Right.
The Iron Ring finale, her kids, this whirlwind romance, and who knows what else.
It shows how resilient she is in her ability to, like, compartmentalize. She's really good at focusing on what's right in front of her without getting overwhelmed by the big picture.
That's a good skill to have, especially when your life is as full as Monica's.
Yeah.
But it also makes you wonder, is she hiding any anxieties or doubts? Is she really as happy and carefree as she seems?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's something we'll have to think about as we keep going with this.
Okay.
Are we seeing all of Monica, or are there parts of her she's keeping hidden even from herself?
Well, listeners, it looks like we've got a lot to think about for next week. But for now, I think we've done a pretty good job with week 6 of the Shango Diaries. Don't you think?
I think so. We've seen how strong Monica is professionally, her incredible love for her sons, the complicated relationships she's had in the past, and how her connection with Shango is changing.
And let's not forget that unbreakable bond with Mia.
Right.
Their relationship is definitely one to keep an eye on as this story unfolds.
Absolutely.
Who knows? Maybe Mia will end up be the key to figuring out what's going to happen with Monica and Shango.
It's possible. We'll have to keep that in mind as we follow their journey.
Okay.
But I think it's time to close the book on week 6 for now.
Until next time, keep those pages turning.
And that wraps up this week's dive into the Shango Diaries. My emails gives us more than just a glimpse into my world. They're a complete vibe. The hustle of my career, the tension in my relationships, and those moments where passion and priorities collide. It's messy, it's sexy, and it's oh so real. As always, we'll be back next week with more from my inbox, where every subject line has a story, and every story keeps us hooked. Until then, stay bold, stay curious, and don't be afraid to write your own diaries. Catch you next time.